Hey guys, so for this video I'll be answering some questions from my Q&A video. So actually before I start, I am gonna make a collection video for BTS maybe by the end of August, so kind of look forward to it. I just got this. I will include this in a haul. I guess I kind of talk about them as a group in a separate video, but I really wanted this. I'm planning, I might sell wings because I don't like that packaging, but I just got this today, so I just decided to put this album here. So I had like a question video recently, and a bunch of people asked questions, and I have over 200 questions, so I probably want to have like videos where, like a video where I get to answer all of these. Okay. Alright. So let's start. I have my computer right here. Alright. Okay, my question is from Winter Solstice. Actually, I'm not gonna say like the person's name because I probably screwed up. But okay, so the person's question is: do you feel that Kara would have maintained their popularity if Nicole and Jiyoung would still stayed in 2014, 2015? This is actually a really good question. Okay, so if you guys don't know, Kara is one of the groups I absolutely adore. They are my second favorite K-pop group of all time. Just if you don't know, my favorite K-pop girl groups of all time are Girls' Generation, Kara, and Boy Net Girls. I think all three of them are differently musically, but they have brought so much to K-pop. So for Kara, they are a group that I have followed since Mr. Honestly, I don't think they would have maintained their popularity for how it was like before, because Kara was not promoting that much in Korea after their boom in Japan. They always did come back to release something and then just promote it for like 3 weeks and leave, which was pretty unfortunate. But you know, when they're making more money in Japan and you're charting better in Japan, you know, it's better to stay where you are getting more of a success. I think they would have sold a few more albums, yes, but I don't think they would have necessarily developed even more as a group. It was just kind of maintaining your status. I think the Mamma Mia comeback was great. Like, it still lived up to my expectations from them. I never been disappointed from them title track wise. But definitely their popularity wouldn't have increased. It would just have been kind of still where it was, because their album sales were decreasing a little bit since they were not promoting in Korea. And in Japan they did lose a little buzz, and their album sales were kind of decreasing. So interesting question. I think it would have been a lot smarter for them to have stayed together, especially those two. But I think the one that's really winning in this situation is Jiyoung. She seems to be doing a lot of things in Japan, and I'm really happy that she has gained a lot of success. Yeah, I guess, and I like to answer the questions clearly, yeah, I think that, and then for Nicole, I love what Nicole, I've seen Nicole's Instagram stuff, and it just looks like she's living her life like to the fullest. I think she works so much for all that money that she has. Hopefully she invested it well so she doesn't have to worry about it about making money for the rest of her life. She just seems to be doing whatever she wants to do. I was looking forward to an album release from her, but I think that's like not even in the like in her like plans anymore. I feel like she just kind of got over being in the entertainment industry. But you know, if she does release anything, I'll keep an eye on it. I still have to buy her stuff, which is something I actually do need to get. Hopefully by the end of the year I'll get some stuff, and I'm really happy that Jiyoung is like releasing music and stuff. I think she's like the one I'm most shocked about, because I wanted I expected Hara to like release something, but she seems to be doing just reality shows. But yeah, sorry for like the long answer. I guess I'll just not talk too much for the other answers. Okay, so what is your opinion about potato light sticks of N flying? I actually don't know what they look like. I guess answering this question, I don't really care for light sticks. I do have a Big Bang light stick that I've been like meaning to like sell for the longest time. I think it's even rare. But I'm not a collector of photo cards, light sticks, and merch. It's not my thing. The only thing I've really gotten as merch, it was like official photo books, and it's been from like Girls' Generation and Dongbangchenki, and those are like my ultimate. So yeah, that's like the only thing I've really gotten out of outside like albums, and I don't think I've even bought like DVDs, concert stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I haven't seen them, but cool if they have potato light sticks. That's interesting. Okay, so next question: what do you think that will be the future for Wonder Girls if they never went to the U.S.? I think they've so I don't know. This is kind of like an interesting story, because they did leave like at their peak of their just popularity, but they never, even after they've been taking hiatuses and taking breaks and stuff like that, they've never flopped ever, which is really rare for a girl group in Korea to just manage to always do extremely well. That's why the Wonder Girls are such a special group. But I don't think it would be necessarily any different from what it was now. I think they would have still disbanded after 10 years, because Twice has gotten so much momentum that I don't think JYP would even care to just continue on focusing on the Wonder Girls. It's just from a business point of view, it would just be a lot smarter to focus solely on Twice, because they bring a lot of much more income, they sell a lot of more albums, and even though the Wonder Girls still made some like good money, it just doesn't, they're not as commercial as Twice is, because you get like TV commercials, CFs from that, photo shoots and all that. And the Wonder Girls, even though they had that at the beginning of their careers, they kind of lost that I don't know, that brand where people are gonna like buy their products just because the Wonder Girls are in it. But their songs always did really well. And I think what made them so likable is that they never were too over the top. They always seemed like the girls next door. But I think they would still be the same. They would probably have pulled out more hits, because they would have been promoting a lot more in Korea. So we probably would have gotten like another mini or another full-length album. But yeah, that's like kind of how I see it. I don't think it would have changed too much, because there would have been neck and neck with 21 and Girls' Generation. I don't think it would be much different. This is a just strange question. Do you know BTS? Obviously, I know BTS. If you don't know BTS and you listen to K-pop, you've kind of been living under a rock. If you were to audition for one of the big three, Big Hit, Starship, Pledis, and Cube Entertainment, which company would you pick? Why? I think that I would have picked to be under SM. The like Big Hit, yeah, they've only done stuff with BTS, so you can't really say much from them, because they had Glam and then they promoted 2AM, but that's about it. So I can't really say much about Big Hit. Starship, they're kind of shady, so but you do get good albums from them, but no. And then Cube is a mess now. And then for the big three, they are still the big three for a reason. I think that YG right now kind of has been losing kind of like their momentum, in my opinion. I think they've kind of fallen behind SM and JYP because they really haven't done anything with Blackpink and any other artists, so it takes forever for anyone to release something. So I would not like to be in that company, because even though the profit division stuff, it's like pretty even, what kind of money are you going to make if you don't release anything? So I don't want to be under YG because he plays favorites. And then I don't want to be in JYP because he's kind of like YG. They're kind of like YG. You just, yeah, I just don't think that. And then SM kind of promotes all of their artists to a certain extent, so I would just like being under the company, because I would get if I'm not a huge artist, I would still get some opportunities because of how like their big influence on the business. So I would go under SM just for that reason, because you can have a career even though you're not like, even if you aren't like huge, I guess, just because of their influence. Okay, what do you think your life would be without K-pop? Definitely more, I guess, close-minded about just other cultures. But then again, I've been always really interested about other cultures since I was little. But I think K-pop itself really opened my eyes into just actually being like learning a lot about a culture, not just from the music aspect, but because when you watch variety shows and then dramas and then movies, you really go in depth. And then seeing like documentaries as well, you learn a lot of just how other people think and all of that, and you become a little bit more understanding. And yeah, I think that I would just be a little, I guess, more ignorant regarding just, I guess, Asian culture, because I am from South America, so I do know two different points of view, but to a certain extent I can really understand how some people think a certain way in Korea. So hopefully one day I do get to visit Korea. I am visiting Japan in a month, so I'm really looking forward to seeing just how life is like in that part of the world. So definitely, and it would be a lot more boring as well. Okay. Oh, and I would have a lot of more money on my pocket for sure, because I spend so much money on K-pop albums. It's like ridiculous. So that would be like the biggest thing, I guess, aside from like knowing on another culture, is saving a bunch of money, because I could have gotten a car with that K-pop money. But I don't regret buying K-pop albums, because I love all my albums. Okay, how did you get into K-pop, and did it change anything about your life? So kind of answered half of that question. It changed my life because obviously I'm so invested in learning another culture, so that's that. And then how did I get into it? I answered this in previous videos, but short story about it. I listened to Japanese music a lot before, and this would be like anime stuff, and then anything that was kind of like sung in Japanese. I really just loved the sound of the language. And then I stumbled onto videos from Dongbang Shinki and Big Bang, and yeah, I absolutely just got really interested in K-pop with Dongbang Shinki at first. I didn't know anything. I thought they were Japanese as well. A few years later, I found out they were Korean. And then what really solidified my fandom was listening to Girls' Generation after they released their O album. I got really into K-pop around those days. And then, because I would like look at people like performing, and I was like, what is this? Like, why are they giving out trophies? Like, is this like a competition? Like, I was confused. But then when I saw the O music video, for something in me, I was like, I really want to know more about this stuff. And then gradually I just got sucked into the world, and then I started listening to basically anything that was being recommended on the YouTube videos. And I would be like, okay, this is UKISS, this is that. And then over time, obviously, I think information became more accessible because there were more translations and things like that. So I was able to really understand the songs and a lot of other things. And then I would know what a comeback was and all that. So that's kind of how I got into K-pop, was because of Dongbang Shinki, thinking that they were Japanese artists. What is my favorite K-pop music video? I think it's really difficult to pick, but I think that my favorite K-pop music video would have to be Dongbang Shinki's Mirotic, because I can visually remember, that's like when I first really started just getting really interested, or like at the first time kind of seeing something so different. And I can literally just have a flashback listening to it when I was younger. This was, 10 years ago. So I was like 12, 13 years old around this time. So it made such an impact that I can still remember listening to that song so many times. It's ridiculous. So I would pick that one. But aside from just that, what K-pop music video do I really like? I don't know. I really enjoy Tiara's music videos. But definitely Mirotic is my favorite one. Do you know Luna? If so, who is your bias? I do know who Luna are. A lot of my YouTube K-pop friends, even on Twitter, really like Luna. I'm not jumping into that train. I don't want to get into a group that I know that if I get into, I'm going to want to get all of their stuff. And I don't want that to happen. I do keep an eye out on the stuff. The music, I don't know. It's not bad, but it doesn't really stick out that much for me. But if it seems like they've been getting a lot of international fans, which is great. But it's not like my favorite thing ever. But I do like how unique they are compared to other groups. Hopefully, I think they still haven't debuted, so I don't know when that's happened. Okay, how many albums do I have? I actually don't know. I think I have around 800 to 900. Maybe 1,000, but I haven't counted. I need to start counting how many albums I have. I know I'm pretty bad. Like, I don't know. One day I will count all of them and then keep a chart where I can count everything that I have. But I have definitely 800 albums. What is your opinion when people from your country hates or bash K-pop songs, saying they would, why would you listen to them for something that you don't understand? While they themselves listen to other country songs too. And when people are talking most Korean does plastic surgery Wow, there are a lot of more people who did plastic surgery at a lot than. Okay, the last portion I don't understand. I think you want my opinion about plastic surgery in Korea, but what do I think about people who tell me if you doesn't listen to the music you don't understand? First of all, I think it's pretty stupid. Um, um, because okay, so shocker, not everyone in the world speaks English. The most popular music in the world is in English. The most music sold, the most popular artists come from um, just pop music that is sung in English. K-pop is no different from pop music. It takes a lot of elements about Western culture, yes, but it mixes them with a lot of other things. That's what K-pop is. It's sounding a lot more like American music now, but it's still sung in Korean, and some artists haven't adapted too much into the Western sound. It's just music sung in another language. That's like saying me dragging somebody for saying, "Why do you listen to Spanish music?" You know, I completely think it's really silly for somebody to tell somebody, "Why are you listening to that?" if you can't understand it. And some K-pop fans do understand it because, first of all, there's so much repetition from lyrics and words in K-pop songs. Sometimes you know what they're saying half the time without you realizing it. Just listen to it closely because it's just so much repetition when it comes to just lyrics in K-pop. You would know. And then you can always look up translations. Like, you can just tell the person, I look up the translation for it if I want to know what they're saying. That, and the music is an international language. You don't have to speak the language to enjoy it. I would definitely say to appreciate the songs a lot more, it's great to look at translations, but some songs are so great that they can transmit different emotions onto you. Like I was saying earlier, I didn't even know that they were singing Korean sometimes when I was listening to K-pop songs. Obviously, I can distinct the languages now very well, but it was all about how it made me feel. It made me feel like I wanted to dance. It made me feel happy. The music videos were really intriguing. It's just how you feel. You can't tell somebody why you can't enjoy it. You just do. It makes you feel great. Yeah, and obviously, this is the same case. If I live in the U.S., so everyone speaks English. But I guess if you were living in another country, like, I don't know, like Russia or Greece, and you're like, why do you listen to that? Why do you listen to those American songs? Or like, when you can't really understand it that much, it's like, it's just silly. And then the plastic surgery question, I honestly really could care less. I think what really sucks, I don't particularly care if certain like groups members get plastic surgery before they debut and all of that. You know, everyone has the freedom to choose what they do. But I do think it's unfortunate when they start doing, like, fixing things that don't need to be fixed. Because, hey, if you want to look better, you know, go ahead. I personally would not go under plastic surgery. I would be too scared to let somebody have my appearance and the tip of their finger and their hands, I guess. I honestly couldn't do it. But hey, if it made them look better, I mean, you can see a lot of people have changed their looks drastically, and they look pretty good. But in some cases where it's like Namju and other other members, it's just really unfortunate when they feel so insecure. But, you know, plastic surgery, it's even common in Hollywood, so it's like, you know, it's not only in Korea. I think it's so I don't know, I don't even want to dive too much into it, but honestly, I could care less. Okay, what is your favorite K-pop choreography? Chinese Lucifer, or yeah, like Chinese Lucifer, Girls' Generation's Genie, um, Dongbang Chinky's Mirotic, obviously, Um, kind of like the legendary dances, I guess. Those are like my favorites. Do I know Astro? If so, who's your favorite member? I do know Astro. I don't particularly listen to their music that much. I like their song pa 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 da pa pa a lot. I almost, that's another funny case too. I almost bought their like 3 of their albums one time, and I was like, do I really want to get into them and then start buying their albums? You know, I took a step back, but they have some cute songs. Don't know them that well. I only know one of the members, and I forgot his name. I think it's Un I think that's his name. Yeah. What makes you a K-pop? Like, what makes you to be a K? What makes you want to be a K-pop fan? I don't think too much about it. I just enjoy the music basically. Okay. My question is, how do you get your albums? I order them online. Do I have BTS albums? As you can see, yes. Okay, among all your K-pop albums, what do you treasure the most, or what album you'll fight to just keep, and why? The album that I would definitely always keep is, actually don't know. I don't know. I guess my Girls' Generation signed album. Who's my bias in Monster X, Wonho, 101. I don't know, it's difficult for them. I guess Minhyun, 17, Vernon, and Red Velvet, Irene. But in Red Velvet, it changes. Like, sometimes I feel like more Joy, sometimes I'm more like Wendy, sometimes like Seulgi. The one that's never really up my radar is Yeti. But I like her, but she's not like as charming as the other girls. What group made you get into K-pop? Dongbang Jinki. If you are a K-pop idol, what would you mostly do? Singing or rapping? Singing. I am not huge on rapping. If you were to choose between a boy group, which is the best? What group would you choose? Mine would be BTS. If it weren't for them, it would be EXO. Don't even come for the Kings. Dongbang Jinki is the best K-pop group of all time. Fight me, you know, it's always gonna be them. They're legends. I think them as 5, nothing compares to them in the slightest. It's just them as 5 is just pure perfection. Even though with the whole Yu-chan scandal and all this other stuff, them as 5 back then, even them as a trio and a duo, they're still such a force. It's like, it's not them only being able to sing well, dance really well, have charisma on stage. They're like multi-talented. They all can act pretty decent. Yu-chan has was in basically my favorite dramas. Jeju's pretty good actor as well. And then you got Changmin like doing his musicals, and Junsu doing his musicals as well. Honestly, like, no one compares to them. Like, that's why they're my all-time faves. They are what got me into K-pop. I will never, never, never think otherwise. There's not a group that's going to change my mind. That's the group that I will always be following in K-pop. And then second to them for boy groups, SHINee. That's, yeah, hands down. Shiny and Dongbangshiki hold a special place in my heart, and being unbiased, they are the two best. Like, I know a lot of people love BTS and EXO, but I don't want to necessarily say bad things about each of the groups. I love both BTS and EXO. If you've scrolled through my channel videos, obviously you know I like them because I buy their stuff. I have a BTS album right here, but they're not the best, in my opinion. Everyone has different opinions, but definitely, absolutely, just, I love Dongbangshiki, and they're just the best. As an album collector, which album do you love the most? For packaging, I love Ihyori's monochrome album. I think it looks really nice. There's just a lot of different packaging that I really enjoy. But these days, this type of packaging is my favorite, and kind of a little smaller. If you guys own a copy of Red Velvet's Red Summer, that's like my favorite packaging right now. I love it when it's just smaller. Thank you so much. Have I gotten anyone into K-pop? I don't think so. Some of my family have listened to some songs, but I don't know. I don't think so. Why? Okay, I think they meant to say what, not why. Ugh. Sorry, that was my alarm. Was not expecting for it to go. Okay. What struggles and challenges do you face being part of the K-pop society? I don't face any challenges. If anything, I made a lot of friendships. I completely ignore kind of fan wars and stuff. I do kind of troll sometimes. But that's just only in my friend group, I guess. But if some people when I see just too much stupidity, I don't know. Honestly, I just ignore that. I would say the challenges would be kind of, I guess, saving money, spending too much. That would be my challenge. Have you been to any K-pop concerts? No. What is my favorite K-pop album at the moment? So far from this year, I really liked. Let me think. Let me kind of look. I love Monster X's new album. I would say their album, because I'm kind of looking right here. Yeah, so far this year, they're the only ones I thoroughly really enjoyed as an album as a whole. I'm looking forward to Taeyeon's album and SHINee's album. Alright, let's keep going. Hey, what's going on? It's my dog barking for no reason. Okay, do you have any underrated K-pop songs and groups? A bunch. I always post them on Twitter. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's under the same channel name. I think Stellar is one of those groups that definitely comes to my mind. Dalshabet, Rainbow, Jaeguge Idol, Jaya, Nine Muses. I cannot stress that enough. I think they are really underrated. Yeah, okay, so that's the end for this video. I will do other parts answering more. But yeah. Hopefully this was interesting. I'll answer a few more on part 2 and then part 3 and whatnot. So